World Bank chief expects rich nations to meet African donation request. You see, when I see news like this, I only but laugh somehow inside me, even though it's not funny. Yes, because they are always good in projecting Africa as a poor continent, forgetting that these so-called rich countries or rich nations, part of what made them what they became or why they became the rich nations is their loots out of Africa. Most of their countries are built out of the loots they took out of Africa. Even they are still looting in this current time because they have sense of entitlement when it comes to Africa. Because of that agreement they had when they sat on the table scrambling for Africa, then a country that is as rich as Africa, a continent that is as rich as Africa is being portrayed on international stage as a poor continent. This is mockery. But I don't blame the World Bank chief, neither do I blame the West. I blame the West a bit because they enjoy supporting bad government in Africa, supporting corrupt leaders, because then they have something that they can use to control these leaders to do what they want. Because the West don't want Africa to be really independent. The West don't want Africa to work because Africa working will crumble their economies. Africa working will rewrite the narratives that they have been selling to their people. We open the eyes of their people because they are always good in projecting Africa as a poor continent. It's only the negative they are showing in their media concerning Africa. So, in as much as I blame the West a bit, yes, I blame our leaders, majority of them, that are corrupt. Even though we equally know that the corruption some of our leaders are doing today, they lent it from the people from the West. Even here, there is corruption. It's only that they do it under the table. They don't do it in the open like we do it in Africa. Yes. And at the end of the day, the so-called loot, our leaders loot out of Africa, they will bring it here. These people will keep it for years, using it to promote their economy, taxing those monies. Yes. Because if you say you want to help Africa to fight corruption, because sometimes when they say it is laughable, but then our leaders bring looted or corrupted money, you will keep it. You use it to promote your economy. You tax that money for the years it's here. Because if you really want to help Africa in fighting corruption, as you proclaim sometimes, or as you portray sometimes, you will investigate every single money that is coming into your countries. Yes. Because if you people want to do that, you know how to do it very well. You can go to the last detail. But it's just that Africa is like a piece of cake to the West. They are sharing it among themselves as they wish and as they want. And that's why they don't want our histories to be taught in our schools, so that our people will not come to understand what happened and start rebelling. In their own countries, they are teaching their children about their history. The situation where Africa is today, Europe was in this same situation some years back. That's why you see that they are teaching their children their history from small, because they don't ever want their children to find themselves in the position that their countries found themselves in the past. Because they know that if they start teaching history in African school, our spirit, our souls, our bodies will be awakened, and our people will start rethinking, and our people will start rising. And that is one thing the West can never stand. And that is why you see that in most African countries, our histories are not being taught, because the colonial masters prefer it like that, so that we will remain in their invisible chain. Because if our histories are being taught, we'll be awakened.